When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
my head up.
I'm South Carolina, so I just
got it.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Morris?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? John.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself.
The doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all and more.
Letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
Good morning, top of the world. I'll tell you, first name's Doni, last name's Glover, entered the winning for the long haul. Baby, this is the Emmy-nominated Doni Glover Show, and we aim to bring you news and information each and every day. Today, we will be talking about a topic that I personally am no stranger to, and it's called addiction. Here in the city of Baltimore and the cities across the world, people are suffering with all kinds of challenges, particularly as it relates to drugs and alcohol, whether it be Grey Goose, Old English 800, Dorton's and Sticky, if you're old enough to know what that is. I think the new generation calls it syrup or Percocets, heroin, cocaine, crack. And here to help us discuss this and to bring some clarity, and not just some clarity, but some solutions to that scenario for anyone suffering from the throes of addiction, is Malik Williams. Good morning, Malik. How are you?
Doni, how you doing?
I'm blessed by the best. No need to be stressed. Keep my head to the sky. No need to cry, because ain't nobody gonna listen, no way.
I hear that.
Welcome to the show, man. Everything Must Change. That's the name of your program.
Yes, sir. That's I'm the director there. The owner, Daryl Robinson and Sherelle Robinson are the owners, and I'm the director. But yes, everything must change.
Is that here in the city of Baltimore?
Yes, it's here. Started in Philadelphia about 25 years ago. So there's still an entity in Philadelphia, and here in Baltimore, it's been maybe a couple years, but we're growing tremendously.
Now, I have a good ear for accents, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and ask you, where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore City, born and raised.
East, west, both?
Park Heights.
From the Heights, 21215.
21215.
So you know about Woodland Avenue.
Yeah. Woodland Avenue is gone. I moved to Philly for 13 years. And when I came back home, I've been home about a year, and I seen Woodland Avenue was gone. And I'm like, wow, it really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it's gone. Did drugs have anything to do with Woodland Avenue being gone in your estimation?
I would say everything. That was the block that I really learned all of some of the negative things in my past that I wish I hadn't have. But
yeah, I learned about Dorton's and Sticky up there around
Wood. The syrup and Dorton's. I was like, oh yeah, he an OG. He going back.
Yes,
A lot.
Lord. Horse tranquilizers.
Woo. Yeah, that's serious, man. And the age
And
of
I say that, look, Malik, I say that because you got horses just up the street.
Pimlico, right? And it's really crazy how this is a new day and age. The drugs that's on the streets these days, you got the horse tranquilizers, you got the fentanyl. It's just a whole new game. It's terrible. It's like a movie, like the Walking Dead. What's that movie called? I forget. But
Dawn
like,
of the Living Dead.
yeah, yeah, it's a whole nother level, and people are definitely dying at tremendous rates. And you got fentanyl and everything. It's terrible.
They got fentanyl in the weed.
In the weed, people thinking they doing marijuana and get hooked to fentanyl.
And,
Cocaine, you fentanyl. Percocet, fentanyl. It's like everything is fentanyl.
and it only take that much fentanyl to make a cat OD. That much.
Yeah, it's really crazy, man. So to be part of the solution today is very important to me and very something I take personally, as I have a life experience with addiction myself. So it's rewarding in a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm. We got one of your church members. Do you know about was it St. Martin's Church up there north of McCullough?
Yep. That's where we go.
So we got Darius George Hall. I don't know if you can see the screen. He said they all go to my church under the leadership of Bishop Dr. Kevin Daniels.
Yeah, I don't know Darius, Mr. Hall personally.
Oh, they call him George.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know him personally, but yeah, the bishop is awesome, and the bishop is awesome. He gives a strong message that's relatable every week to anybody, and it even just feels like he understands where the city is at and preaches on a level of that need.
We need real preachers today, especially in Baltimore. We got so many. There was a time when the church used to be honorable, man.
Right.
The preaching used to be honorable.
Right.
You say the drug game has changed, so has the preaching game. I mean, we have more preachers about pimping,
right,
than ever before.
Okay, I see your show on some real stuff. Okay.
Oh, we call them out if they pimping from the pulpit. Yeah, we gonna call them. We gonna give you that. We gonna give you their home address.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Now I've known Kevin for a long time. I know Kevin. Kevin is actually a black belt. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
See, he be hiding on y'all. I know. He used to be down Christmas Addicts. That was his wreck growing up.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get too much on the personal, because we do a lot of extracurricular things with the church as well, because it's not just about Sundays for him. I see he's in the community. I remember we just did like the toy giveaways and giving families clothes, and so it's a lot of things that I see him doing that's just not from the pulpit, and that's important to me because someone that's going to be my spiritual leader, I like to see the realness, so he definitely is in the hood.
How was it? How was it? Tell me how it was before you got to where you are.
What was?
Addiction.
Addiction, it was living hell. It was a total living hell. I went from Baltimore City and I went to Philadelphia, and you know how the saying says you can take yourself with you wherever you go. And I took myself with me to Philadelphia. I was very successful there, but it was a lot of mishaps that continued to plague my life. And then I hooked up with Daryl Robinson and Sherelle Robinson, and it was like they blew the breath back into me. It was like I was down when I met them, but they knew who I was and the capabilities that I had, and they didn't let that deter me from growing. And that's why I'm a loyal person, and Everything Must Change is just really impacting in a different way, in my opinion. And not just because I'm a part of the organization. It's real. Really look at people's individual needs and address it as such. I didn't even know I would end up working for the program. I went through the program. So I'm actually a product and a result of Everything Must Change. And
Man,
now I'm
listen, Malik. The spirit is telling me that you have a song that you want to sing.
sing a song. I'm not a singer, but that is my song, my testimony. So if you could just put some music to the track. Man, I've been through a whole lot in life, and now to be able to be the head of my family, to provide for my family, my sons, my grandson, my daughter. It's just amazing. Something that I'll never take for granted again. But I had to learn that. I had to learn and be loved until I learned how to love myself. And that's what we do at EMC. A person comes in and we help them identify what is your specific challenges. What are the things that you need to be successful in life? And then we explore that and we get the information, and you get an opportunity to kind of like live it in a controlled environment, and then step out. And once you step out, you become part of like a family, and you still have that support. We got a lot of people that have moved on, but still come back regularly and show love. It's a whole, it's like a community. And then when we hooked up with the church, and then that's another community, it's like it just keeps growing and extending into every area of my life.
Come on, Malik. I know you got a song, man. What's your song?
You really want me to sing something?
Yeah, man. The spirit telling me you got a song, man. I don't know. Is it I Won't Complain? I don't know. What is it? Is it One Day at a Time? What's your song?
Let me see. I would just say my song I would sing, because I cannot sing, Donnie. You're not gonna get me to sing on here. But I would just sing Thank You, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. I just wanna thank you, Lord. Is that the one?
That sounds good to me.
You ain't gonna fall for it.
If you sing the chorus, I'll do the rap version. That's more my style.
Oh, you rap? You're a rapper.
I'm a poet. I love poetry. I like playing with words. So that would be something that I would probably do more than I would sing.
You got a poem for us?
Not really. I write it not to recite it, but off the top of the head, I say, escape into the eyes of society in a compilation of words, sentences, and phrases. Amazed by this poetical expression from my soul, my pen aligns with my mind and attains full control. Can't remember it. But I like to play the word. I can't believe you got me to do that, like on the show. So that's amazing.
Man, you up there in Philadelphia? You up there with what's his name? Black Thought. What's the man from the Roots?
Black Thought.
The next move, man. You up there in Philadelphia? I know you representing Baltimore.
I represent, but not through song and poetry. The way I've represented Baltimore is I help save people's lives. You know what I mean? That's how I represent, man. I wish I could sing. Wish I could.
What'd you think of Philadelphia? How many? I mean, we it's not uncommon, but those in addiction know that Philadelphia has been a place that a lot of Baltimoreans have gone to get their lives together. Just like a lot of Baltimoreans know a lot of New Yorkers have come to Baltimore thinking they were slick, and ended up either not going back home or limping back home.
I love Philadelphia. It was it's like another Baltimore. And I think that's why I liked it, because it's very familiar. The cities are very familiar. It's just bigger than Baltimore. And I really was going to stay in Philly. I was there for 13 years, and my mom just passed away in July. So that's what had me come back to Baltimore so I could take care of my mom before she died. And then, I decided that I want to stay because of, one, for family. I want to be there. And now my role has changed as the family. I'm like the head of my family now, the patriarch. And then EMC, as I went through EMC and started working, and I see Daryl and Sherelle's vision. And because I had my own program. And so I put my own thing to the side so that I could be a part of their vision, because their vision is actually bigger than my vision. So I don't have to have, my ego isn't so big that I can't be a follower and have to be the leader, you know?
Malik, they say my worst day sober is better than my best day high. What does that mean to you?
To me, that just means that I've been to a low that many people may not have ever been to. I've been on the streets of another city, Philadelphia, homeless, high, with no place to turn, feeling alone, and to the point where I wasn't suicidal. But you ever heard of Biggie Smalls? And he had an album that was called Ready to Die.
I don't want to live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. Every day is a hustle, another drug to juggle. Another day, another struggle.
That's it, the everyday struggle. And so that name of that album was Ready to Die. So I wasn't suicidal, but I was ready to die.
But God said something else.
Yeah. And so when I think of my worst day, that's my worst day. So when you compare that to a bad day being clean, is no comparison. I'd go through anything before I would go through that again. You know, things and situations that show up in life are just opportunities for me to be able to show my growth, to be able to start being a responsible man that, you know, I have become today. And my problem, Donnie, was dealing with the pain. I didn't know how to deal with pain good. So the drugs was my outlet to deal with things. Once my mom died, that's like the worst pain imaginable for me. And once I seen that I was able to get through that storm and stay clean and sober, that was really like the self, you know, my inner self saying, okay, you're gonna be all right now, you know. And that really was something I was always worried about. You know how people say reservations and you not know what you would do if this happens. And that was the closest person to me. And now I stay clean and I do the things that I need to do in my life for her. You know, as a respect, as a tribute, so to say.
You want to hear something funny, man?
Yeah.
So I learned about Islam when I was about 15.
Okay.
Addiction had gotten so bad, but I still wouldn't eat pork.
Okay.
And then one day it dawned on me, black man, you up here sniffing up all the strongest steel. You remember strongest steel?
I remember that.
You don't remember strongest steel.
Remember that? I remember that name. Where that was at?
On Monroe and on Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Little pink bags. And it dawned on me, it was like, you sniffing up all the dope, but you won't eat some bacon. The things we go through, man.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It just shows that distorted thinking, you know, that we have, you know, because I believe that even after you take the drugs away, that you're still dealing with the real problem, which is us and the way that we respond to life, the way that we perceive things and the way that we deal with situations. So the drugs is just a symptom, something that we try to use to solve that.
Now, I go up into this meeting in St. Gregory's.
Okay, yeah. I go to St. Gregory's time to time.
And I learn a thing or two up in the meetings. And like minding your own business. I like not comparing your story
to someone else's.
And also listening. They say take the cotton out your ears,
put it in your mouth.
whew. I find myself listening to somebody I would never listen to on the streets, ever.
Right.
But they know something that I don't know.
How to get another dick.
And I'm saying to myself on the front row, I gotta listen to him.
Yeah, that's right.
Self-esteem lower than the belly of a worm. The curb. The curb. The curb was a skyscraper.
Woo. I hear that. I feel that.
And then one day you fall down on your knees, higher than a Georgia pine. And you sincere. You high as all outdoors, but you are sincere.
Right.
Because that devil and this sidekicks all up and down your sidekick upside the head, bop, bop, bop. And then one day you just fall down on the knees and say, Father, I surrender.
I surrender. Give it up. It's the only battle you can win by giving up.
What do you mean?
Surrendering. Most time people think of surrender, they think that they're giving up and they're losing out. Addiction, we surrender every day on a daily basis. So that's the way to win, is by not trying to get in the ring with that bag of dope, because it's going to win every time. So being able to say, you know what, I surrender, and I'm not going to struggle no more and try to beat an opponent that I could never beat. That's the way to salvation.
What did you like about the couple? What's the name? Daryl
and Sherelle?
Yeah.
You know what? The biggest thing I love about them is, as we were speaking before, the realness. They're real people, you know, and they have. I always used to wonder why. I told you I had my own program, so I always used to wonder why Daryl and Sherelle always had a large program, a lot of people, and I'm like, well, how did these people get all of these people? And I realized that it's because of their heart, and their heart is sincere, and they really help people, and that's what I believe assist with the multiplication of people flock to them. You know what I mean? And so, like, not only are they my boss, but they still take a place kind of like my mentors. Like, I can go to them with personal issues, and they give me information and guidance, and like those, they're just a great team. They're always working, traveling city to city, back and forth, bringing people. I get a phone call, it might be 11 o'clock at night, and they're like, I got 5 people coming in, and they don't stop. And that inspires me to work harder and keep pushing, because if they putting it in, then I'm gonna put it in too.
Man, they sound like the Harriet Tubman and the William Still of addiction. Harriet Tubman, she ran the Underground Railroad, but a lot of people don't know her mentor was William Still. And William Still and Harriet, they helped Black people escape slavery. Right. Addiction is like slavery, huh?
Is it? It's like slavery, it's like prison, and a prison of our own mind. We put ourselves into this prison. And like you said, become a slave to, you know what I mean, to the desire, slave to the feeling.
What made us think, Malik, that sniffing some cocaine was slick?
Oh, man, when I was young, and I used to look up and see all the guys, the older guys, they were sniffing dope. And they were so slick. It was so attractive to me. Like, they had the girls, they had the cars, they had the money. And I just thought, by me growing up, never really happy with who I was inside, I was always looking for something outside of myself to find that validation, that, you know, something that told me I'm part of the gang. And, you know, I got into it and I didn't know what I was getting into. And it was years after me getting into it, because I had some money. And it was years until the downfall started. And then that's when I realized, hey, this is a problem. And I started to learn more about what addiction really is. And then I realized that it wasn't even really the drugs, because I can still use anything in that place. People, I can use people, I can use places, things. I can take shopping to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? So I realized that it wasn't just the drugs, it was me. And I had to really, my biggest question was finding out the why. And when I figured out why I used drugs, what the drugs were doing for me, only then was I able to, create different things to fill that void that I had.
What's the why? What was the why?
My why was the inability to deal with my feelings and my emotions. I just stuffed everything. My dad left when I was at a young age, so I had an abandonment issue. To where as though anything in my life, I clinged on to it. I didn't want to lose nothing. Like I don't throw stuff away. You know what I mean? It filters over into every area of my life. So it wasn't until I realized that, and I thought it was my fault. So I thought that I was just not a good person. My self-esteem, like you just said, was so low that looking to the curb, like you said, was like a skyscraper. I feel that. And I had to learn, and no matter what accomplishments I made in life, it was still always, it's called the imposter syndrome. When you think, oh, I got that by luck, or you know what I mean, I really don't deserve this. And I would look at all my accomplishments and still feel like I wasn't worthy, or I was inadequate. So it really became like learning how to love myself and accept myself for who I am. And that's when I was able to really start to change my way of thinking and the way I was feeling, and put things in its proper perspective. So it was a long journey. It's a lot of work, but you only get out of something which you put in. You know what I mean? And they say, like, I have a higher power, and they say God will move a mountain for you, but you better bring a shovel.
Man, it sound like this program for more than just addicts.
Yeah, because
it seems like anybody and everybody can learn something from a meeting.
Because you figure everybody got some type of vice, and
every rabbit got a habit.
Right. So it's always at the end of the day of just learning how to be the best version of ourselves we can be. Even without the drugs, we got a lot of people that just don't see the world the way it really is. Because see, we see things through like red glasses. Like, say, you know how you put on some red sunshades and everything look red? Well, we see the world through our experiences, our pain, the things we've been through. So our truth doesn't always have to be the truth. Sometimes we see things and it'll be totally off-centered. And we have to be able to learn the correct way of thinking. So it's like, do you think your way back to the right way of living, or do you live your way back to the right way of thinking?
That's some Confucius action there. Tell me about Brookfield and Whitelock.
Brookfield and Whitelock. I wasn't too much of a Whitelock person. I used to be down in them apartments down there below Whitelock on North Avenue.
Murder Mall.
Yeah, I used to be down that area a little. I had some family down there. That was another thing they done. I was like, wow, Baltimore really is physically changing. A lot of the places that were here are no longer here. Yeah, that was a area where I would I didn't really hang there. I did most of my dirt in Park Heights. That's when I would kind of just be on some getting away from everything down that area.
Oh, you know about Palmer Court then?
Palmer Court, definitely. That's gone. You know
man,
what I mean?
I walked up in the Palmer Court one day, man. Let me tell you something. If you never seen the Wild Wild West, that was Palmer Court. And it had a little Cherry Hill to it, meaning it was one way in
and one way out.
One way out.
And that was like the Carter on New Jack City.
Was it?
It had the line was going all the way in the building, all the way up the steps, and people would cop and then come down the steps and out the building. It was crazy. I never seen anything like that in my life.
A lot of people ain't never seen a dope line, Malik.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Cause like Philadelphia, They don't get down like Baltimore do. Baltimore, we had dope line. You may see 250 people in line in the alley. You know what I mean? And
No singles, no change.
oh man, I've been seeing
Hop,
people
hop,
one knee
hop, and bop.
stand up. It's crazy. So
And
Baltimore,
you got a cat. Look, you got a cat this tall talking about no singles, no change. It make you all.
that's a good title for a book. I'm writing a book myself called The Struggle Within. But that's a good book title you got right there.
Well,
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to send you an invoice because I said nothing but invoices these days, but we ain't giving up no free advice. But that book sounds like a great idea. Everybody needs a book to tell their story, man.
Yeah. We got a young lady in our program, and she's writing a book. And not only is it a good thing to help someone else, but it's therapeutic, because she's getting out a lot of the things she's been through in her life and being able to put them in words and see it. It's something about when you see something, it has a different effect. That's why journaling is a good therapeutic tactic. But yeah, I look forward, and that's what I love. Like I said, EMC, we encourage people to like follow their dreams and their passions. So we got all types of people in the program. We got authors, we got comedians, we got mechanics, we got a lot of people who want to help other people and going into the peer specialist training. We got a lot of people with dreams, and Daryl and Sherelle gets behind that. We got two guys right now that's starting their own catering service underneath of us. So, we're helping them get it together and teaching them how to formulate it, and an opportunity to start selling food and doing catering events. We got an event.
Nobody hustles more than an addict.
Yeah. Because those qualities that we had on the street, some of them are good qualities. You just got to learn how to use them for good instead of for bad. Because like we the type of people that can come outside broke with no money and find a way to get high all day. Who can do that? You know what I mean? So that desire, that drive, if we learn how to channel that into something positive, we can't be stopped.
Now tell me about this church, because it takes a special kind of a church for a recovering person to call home. What is it about that church? They must have good music. They can't have sorry music and be a good church.
Right. The choir is great, but it's more so the bishop, his personality, the message that he preaches. It's a lot of days where sitting in that church, you would think, is he talking just to the addicts or is he talking to everybody? But we realize, because you just brought it up, that a lot of times you could be speaking about addiction, but in a different type of way, everybody feels, because everybody has their things that they're going through. So it really isn't for that one population.
Malik, one thing that's heavy in the city of Baltimore that's rarely discussed is sexual abuse. There are a lot of people. I mean, first of all, we incarcerate more people than any state in the union. Percentage-wise, Maryland got a lot of inmates. And we need to understand as a people, it is not normal. It is not normal for a country that represents only 5% of the world population to have 25% of the world's inmates.
Wow. I didn't know those facts.
And 40% of them are black men. Black women are the fastest growing demographic. So when we look around our city and we see all kinds of sexually deviant behavior,
right?
A lot of people have been harmed. You hear the commercials all the time. If you were a Boy Scout, if you went to the Catholic Church, if this, if that. Right. And years later, a lot of people, male and female, are still struggling with something that happened back in 75. It's something in 1970, and a lot of people still suffering will pass it on to someone else because they still sick.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is really a word of encouragement that when you sit in one of them rooms, you might find out some things you didn't know, like somebody had it worse than you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always someone that had it worse off than you did. Sometimes you end up feeling like, well, wow, I feel bad worrying about my problems when somebody else going through something more. You know something that happened? This is a true story. I think about it whenever I'm feeling like my stuff, like my load is too heavy. This was back in the day. I'm on Park Heights. I'm getting ready to get on the bus. This back when it was I think it was the 5. Number 5. So I'm getting ready to get on the bus. I'm having a bad day. I'm upset. I'm going through something. And here comes, you know how they let the wheelchair lift down. So I'm waiting the wheelchair lift. Now this guy, he's in a wheelchair. He don't have no arms. Now he got, remember the Walkmans with the tape cassette joints and before the CD? He got a Walkman on. He got straps on his arm like with extensions so he can like push the play button or whatever. Now he's coming down the lift and he got his earphones on and he's jamming. He just rocking and smiling to the. So I'm going through something. Now I look at him and I say, now if this brother has no arms and I think one of his legs was missing, I forget exactly, but point being, if he can be happy, the little stuff I was going through didn't even matter no more. I was like, man, dare me be upset over some little petty stuff when this brother is showing gratitude. He's happy. And I never forget that image. When my load's too heavy, I think of that guy. I don't know who he is. Just the image of him instantly makes me be grateful.
There was a cat on the streets of Baltimore. He would be anywhere from MLK. You might see this cat in Towson. He had no arms and no legs.
Wow.
He had a prosthesis here, and a prosthesis on each leg.
Wow.
If he wanted to shoot dope, he needed somebody else to shoot it for him. But when I tell you this cat was a hustler,
yeah,
he put the H on hustle. No arms and no legs with a dope habit.
Wow. That shows you the power of addiction. And we'll have to go get somebody else just to help him get on.
I would hate that because that means you got to buy twice. I got to buy my thing and somebody else's thing too. And hope that they don't put something in it.
Yeah, I was saying, imagine how many L's he took, people running off with his money. And
what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Find somebody else.
He better be Chief Lots of Dough.
Yeah, so that just shows like addiction hits everybody. And it's so powerful and so strong, you know, that despite whatever's going on in your life, you're gonna go to it. And you're gonna
let me tell you something else, Malik. Since Freddie Gray, there's a time if a white addict will pull up on Pennsylvania Avenue, police tell him to beat it. Put an egg in your shoe and beat it. Get up out of here.
Right.
Ever since Freddie Gray and the consent decree, now I live down here in Sandtown.
Okay.
I done looked out in my back alley. In the past 9 years since Freddie Gray, and I done seen white people shooting dope in my alley. Number one, black people don't even go in the alley.
Right.
Number two, we damn sure don't go in the alley late night.
Right.
They're up in the alley trying to break into a vacant.
Yeah.
In the hood. You see white boys nowadays coming down Pennsylvania Avenue, no shirt on. Bopping.
Yeah. Right.
Now, when they start selling dope on the avenue, then you know you got a serious problem. But I'm just saying everything that changed. The game has changed. Little young boys say, don't mess with him. He's my customer. Respect him.
Right. Because they spending money. Yeah.
What planet do I live on?
Yeah. The game done changed.
Damn.
And see, when you're talking about the young cats that's out there nowadays, they don't have the same morals and principles that some of the OGs that we had when we was still doing wrong, but we had a way of doing it. They done lost that code, and that's why the streets is so crazy now.
Cats selling dope to their own mother.
Yeah, and we had codes like, you pregnant, you ain't getting served. You know what I mean? You too young, we ain't serving you. Nowadays they don't care. Like you said, it could be their own mom.
Man, in our day and time, it was heroin, cocaine, crack. Now these kids dealing with Molly's and Percocets.
Right.
And Lord knows they got this thing called crystal meth.
Yeah, I've heard of that too.
Can't stay high for 5 days.
And you know, a lot of them young cats that's doing these Percocets, they don't even see that that's a gateway to the heroin. Because once they can't,
a dope fiend is a dope fiend.
They go straight to the dope.
A dope fiend is a dope fiend.
Yeah, it's the same high. You're gonna get sick off them pills, not having them, just like the dude doing the dope.
Cats in treatment programs younger and younger.
Yeah, yeah. And we are definitely seeing that, even to the point where as though we most of our population is older, but we do have some young kids. I think the youngest we got is 21. And it's like
the weed. They got some weed on these streets, boy. Woo.
No, and look, and you got some of these young cats that's doing harder drugs too. And it's definitely sad, man. It's changed. The whole game has changed. So that's why I like being part of the solution. You know, because we can't just sit back and continue to allow, you know, our city to crumble like that. And not just our city, but every city. You know, so at some point you got to figure out where you stand. You're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And so that's where the AMC, we definitely are not just part of the solution, but I like to think of EMC is not just a program, like we're a whole movie. We got our own podcast getting ready to come out. We have so many different areas that we're actually trying to get all of the programs, the recovery programs together in May. And we're going to have the mayor come out and try to have some city officials. But it's like we need to be unified. It's not a competition.
Well, let me tell you, they got an election May 14th. So I hope you do it before the election so we can see what these people are really about. If you are running for mayor of Baltimore and you haven't been supportive, or if you don't know how important everything must change is and everybody else, shout out to the Lord's Church up in Park Heights and Garrison. They have a ministry called the Free Indeed Ministry. Say, whosoever the Son shall set free, ye shall be free indeed. But we need leaders,
right,
from Park Heights to East Baltimore who understand the need to support these programs and why these programs are so important, because they save lives. Anything on homelessness? You mentioned homelessness. Anything you want to share on homelessness?
Yeah, we go to a lot of the shelters, and we're trying to, as we put it, we have an outreach team, and we set up presentations just because we got treatment on demand. So we really go to a lot of the shelters and try to see if there's anyone who wants help, needs help.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, and get them off the streets and show them that there's a new way of life. Because we got a whole system in place to where as though you can come in, learn about your disease, get clean, Then we have transitional housing after you've been in the program for a while. We have a plug where we help people get employment. We got people going to school. So it's like a person can come and turn their whole life around by the time they leave our program. And that's where a lot of participation comes from the homeless population, especially when it's cold. And when it get warm out, then you start to lose people. You know, who feel that the weather, excuse me, isn't that bad. But yeah, my son does a lot for the homeless. He started a homeless thing when he was 10, and he wanted to feed the homeless, and it's called Kids Care Too. And so we made peanut butter sandwiches and chips, and went out and gave them to them. But that is definitely a population, man, because I be feeling for them and worried about them when it snow and when it's cold out, and you figure like some of the people will go into the shelter, but the ones that's addicted, a lot of them don't make it to the shelter by the time the shelter close their doors.
Oh, because they going back and forth with that thing.
Right, right. So for them, I really feel because like a lot of them are just outside all night in the snow, in the rain.
There's a sister named Melinda, and I haven't seen Melinda in a minute, but she came by to get me one night to go feed the homeless over there by Lafayette.
Okay.
Lafayette Projects, or
Right.
what projects used to be. And let me tell you, man, it was so cold. Matter of fact, we were over there by the mission down there on Falls Way. Healthcare for the homeless. Healthcare for the homeless. Man, she got me to come out my warm house. It was colder. It was real cold.
Yeah.
It was below, and she said, "Well, how you think the homeless people feel?" And shout out to B. Gaddy and her daughter Cynthia Brooks. B. Gaddy gone, of course, but they would go up into the hole and call people by name. Daryl, Michael, Kevin, come on out. I got something hot for you to eat. Some hot coffee. Got some blankets for you. We don't know how good we get it. We have it, and I just want to thank the good Lord that I've never ever been homeless. But I know people who have been homeless. And okay, so we got a few minutes. I need you to bring this on home. I'm gonna give you the screen. And shout out to Christine Flowers. She helps homeless right underneath of I-83 all the time. And she's a known advocate. We are so proud of Christine Flowers. That's a sidekick, Larry Wallace. They the best of friends. But I'm gonna give you the screen, and this is your time to shine, big brother. Okay.
Okay. First, I just like to thank you, Donnie, for allowing us to come on and showcase and represent to let the community know that we're here to help people change. And as the name says, everything must change. So we thank you for giving us this platform. And in closing, I would just say we're not just a program, we're more like a movement. And anyone that's out there or that you know of, loved ones, family, that's struggling with the disease of addiction, alcoholism. We even have people who are just addicted to the lifestyle. But you need help, and you need to come into our program and learn about how to be the best version of yourself, how to overcome your pain, how to accept your responsibilities and place back into your family as the fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters. We just want to help everyone overcome the pain. And that's the one thing that's universal, whether you're an addict, whether you're addicted to shopping, women, drugs, clothes, the street life, hustling, that pain is all the same. And we want you to come in. We look at every person as an individual, look at the underlying issues that lead to the addiction. That's something that I think is missing. A lot of people try to treat the drug problem when you don't really have a drug problem. You have a you problem. You have a spirituality problem. So as you get back that connection to your higher power and you start applying these spiritual principles into your life, that's when you start to see change. And when you start to see change, or when you change, then people's response to you will change. Your environment will change. Your friends will change. Your job titles will change. And at the end of the day, everything works. So thank you, Donnie. I really appreciate it. And you got to really meet Daryl and Sherelle.
You got to bring them on this show, man.
Yeah, let's set it up when you get a chance. I'd love for them to come on.
Well,
I want to come represent EMC, but no one can do it like they can.
Well, I tell you, the week of March 4th, we got some openings. We'd love to get them on here. Right now, we got the 4th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th of March open. But I want you to tell me one more thing before you go.
Okay.
Say I get a week clean. Say I get a month clean.
Yeah.
Got my little keychain. Tell me about people, places, and things.
Oh, the people, places, and things. And the environments that you're in, the people that you associate with, we find out a lot of times that you ever heard the saying birds of a feather flock together? You know, so I always try to surround myself around people who are doing the things that I want to do. So when I come into recovery and I get that 30-day keychain, like you said, a lot of people feel the need to go back around the way and show everybody how good you look now, and I'm clean and I got on something. But if you're in the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut, you know, so you have to be mindful, you know, I don't never front on people for where they're at. When I see friends that are still using, I still show love, but guess what?
You ain't got to go there.
The dynamics change. I ain't going to be able to hang with you because you're doing some different things than I'm doing. You know what I mean? You'll get me dirty before I can get you clean.
Whoa!
So places and things is very important to be the first things that you change before you can get a successful recovery.
That means I need a whole new phone book.
Absolutely. That's what I did, deleted my phone book and started over again. Come to EMC, you're gonna meet a lot of new people.
What's the phone number?
When you go to St. Gregory's, like you're familiar with that, a lot of people be outside. They be selling stuff and you can buy stuff and socialize, talk. It's all about doing everything different today.
What's the phone number?
The phone number to EMC, I'm gonna give you my phone number because I don't have the office phone number. We got a lot of people, but 443-754-2819. You can also go on the website.
2891.
443-754-2819.
I got that all wrong. Hold up, let's make sure we got it right. Because we trying to save a soul here today. Is that right? 443-754-2819. You want to take us home with a prayer?
Yeah, I sure will. Let's take a moment of silence for everybody that's out there struggling in their addictions, in their lives in general. We ask that God will come in and give us the sustenance that we need, the desires that we need to be able to be a change in not just our lives, but in other people's lives as well. For the addict who just picked up because he think it's slick, and for the one who just put it down because it's time to quit, I say amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate you.
If I don't get back, man, I ain't learned nothing.
I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it.
So you ain't gonna hit that song, huh?
I'll tell you what. If I ever get to be on here again,
you will.
A song just for you.
There was a cat in recovery. He got his wings. He gone now, but his name was Mark. And he sang, I won't complain.
Mark Holden. That's my homie. Bullhead Mark. He said, I won't complain. He killed it, didn't he? Man, he sang that song where you would just feel it. I done seen people cry and everything, man. Mark was a very good friend of mine. God bless his soul. May he fly in peace. I knew what you was going as soon as you said it.
He sang that song one day out Drew Hill Park. And I hope they bring that Drew Hill Park march back. It was like a recovery thing around May. It was early. It was springtime. And we were out Drew Hill Park. And everybody was gathered around this real big tree. And he sang that song. I had heard him sing it before. But that one day, woo, brother.
Guess how I met him? We were in a program. I was laying on a couch sick. He just came in. We came in the same day. That's why we were so close. And he was sitting there and he started singing the I Won't Complain song. I'm laying on the couch sick. First thing I'm saying is, who is this brother? I wish he would shut up. I don't want to hear it right now. So I sat up and I'm like, man, could you stop singing? And long story short, we had to start talking, and he was a good dude. And
He
that
wasn't
song
going to stop singing that song.
was so special to me because he woke me up out of my, you know what I mean?
I do.
At the time, but I did, and I'm glad he did sing that song. I won't complain. Wow. No matter what.
I've had some good days. Oh man, I got to go now.
Take it home. Take us home. Sing it.
I messed the words up. Let me tell you, I will take a song and the words be right there, and I just transform the words. It's like, that's not this. Even my grandmother cracked on me. That's not how that song go.
Make it say what we want to say.
All of my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain.
Will not complain.
He dried all of my tears away, turned my midnight into day. And so I just say, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
It's been a pleasure meeting you, big brother Malik. Much love and respect to all of the people. And shout out to, like you said, for the person that picked up for the first time and the one who put it down. How'd you say that again? I got to get that line.
Think who just picked it up because he think he's slick, and the one who just put it down because it's time to quit.
Love and respect. Good morning, world.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.